continuemos viendo a Betsy Porantoni, quien nos está hablando sobre la iridología y su campo de estudio para la sanación del ser humano.
Amigos de Hispanic Root, continuamos con Betsy Porantoni, quien nos está hablando con respecto a Iridology. Could you tell me, please, how you can describe a typical session and what the people can expect to experience?
Great. First, when people come to see me, I do not want to know why they came. I will explain iridology by Dr. Bernard Jensen's Iridology Simplified. This is a good material. This is weak. This is dark. And then they sit on the same machine. They sit down, and it's the machine I have it's called a slit lamp. It's the same one as an eye specialist uses, and it magnifies 75 times. Then I will look at first the right eye, and I will circle. If I see, for example, a problem in the thyroid area, I will say, do you lose your voice? Do you feel dizzy, balance, etc.? I don't mention diseases. And then I will mark down what I think. I will ask them. Then I will do the left eye, because you must do both eyes. And when I finish, now 9 out of 10 times they'll say, wow, how did you know that? And I always say, well, this is a science that Dr. Bernard Jensen, who was known, he was the number one internationally, and I was privileged to learn with him. And so then when I finish, we sit down, and the next question I will ask, are you on any medications? Yeah. And on the sheet, they have to mark it. And if yes, do not stop any of your drugs. That's very, very important. Yeah. And then I will say to them, well, I saw a weakness, let's say, in the thyroid area, in the eliminative system, or wherever. Could you please tell me a little bit about you? And sometimes they'll say, well, you found everything. Or, you know what? You did not see that I have the problem in my mouth, yeah. One person said. And I'll say, well, but I asked you if there's any problems with the skin area. Yeah. This is part of the skin. Yeah. So then they'll tell me what is going on. 8 out of 10 times, they will share about the difficulties, not just physically, emotionally. And sometimes I look at their eye and I see a perfect material. Like one little girl, I have a letter, and she has a 10-month-old baby, a beautiful little girl from the Caribbean. And she said, I'm here because I'm dying. And she's crying, and I'm dying. I said, well, what is it? I feel like I'm dying. So I said, okay, after I explained, let's look at your eye. The material was perfect. The pupil also indicates she's going to die or not. It looks great. The white of the material is great. And so I sat down on my desk, and I said, tell me what is going on emotionally. What broke your heart? What guilt is there? And it was something extraordinary. Today, she is my student. Oh, and she wants to give up nursing, and she wants to help the world.
Yeah. In general, what ailments in particular is iridology good for?
I will answer you this way. There is a herb for every single health weakness. Every system in the body, there is a herb. So whatever, like I said, I see this person that their nervous system, their thyroid, the adrenals, the stress rings, the pupil, it looks like they're going to have a breakdown. Yeah. Then I will say, you know what? I don't know if I can help you. Why don't you go medically, find out what is your blood work like? Because I don't want to take that responsibility. And if they've come to me because the doctor said, we've tried everything we can, we don't know what's wrong with you, we don't know how to help you, then they will actually sign with me. Oh. Okay, let's make a contract. I will take you as my client on one condition. I will give you my 100%. I need your 100% commitment. Are you willing? Because I'm not here to babysit you. Go somewhere else.
If I know that you are a teacher also of iridology, if somebody in our audience, they want to become an iridologist, how they can be in contact with you in order to study this subject?
They can call our office, 416-490-1800. Yeah. Right now, we started a class already, and we're doing it on Wednesdays. I used to teach at the Institute of Holistic Nutrition. Yeah. They are the leading college in Ontario. And one of my teachings was from the Canadian College of Natural Healing, which 40 years ago was the it. The class that I taught at the Institute of Holistic Nutrition, I am applying that class to my office, only it's longer.
Yeah. Could you tell me, does iridology work in tandem with other treatments? If so, which ones?
Well, first of all, iridology just shows what there's a weakness. And if they might need a chiropractor, they might need acupuncture, they might need cranial therapy. What I think the most that I find is what the chiropractors call a subluxation. Because many years ago when my kids were small, a chiropractor saved my son James' life.
Yeah.
When he never stopped choking, even though he was in the hospital for almost 4.5 months. By the time he was 5, he'd spent about 2.25 years in the hospital. So he was left with choking, because his spine was quite abnormal too. Yeah. So by going to a chiropractor, that choking stopped. And that time, I didn't know anything about chiropractic. So I went and I studied not to be a chiropractor. I studied for 3.5 weeks in Pennsylvania, chiropractic, the spine, and how it relates to every nerve. So I really believe, and I'm not here to promote chiropractic, but I really feel. And from the eye, we can tell there's a pinched nerve. Yeah. So I would say more than any other therapy, I would recommend chiropractic.
Yeah. It's possible to study the iris through the internet. If somebody send you a picture with iPhone, for example, no, through the internet, the iris, you can analyze the iris.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Yes, it is possible because that's one of the things we do. We work. When I say people, like a lot of our clients, they're in quite a few. They're all over the world. Sri Lanka, India, Connecticut. So I will say, look, I can't be there, but send me a picture of their eye. And yes, it's possible even with these fancy iPhones, because one young man sent it to me, and it's quite profound. Yeah. Because what I didn't finish telling you, when I looked at the iris of the eye, then my son takes a picture of their eye. I look at it from the same machine as an eye specialist. Yeah. And then James takes a picture of the eye, and then we put it on the computer. So I can say to you, this is weak. And it's very wonderful because when they can see, as somebody once said, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, if somebody want to be in contact with you, give me the phone number, website, email, please. In that way, they will be in contact with you.
Sure, thank you. Healthwithherbs.com is the site. The phone number is 416-490-1800. And we would welcome anybody. It's a privilege and a blessing to be doing this work. And thank you for interviewing me.
No, really was a pleasure to have you in the program because you give a lot of information to our audience. Thank you very much for your assistance here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.